It's funny because the other day somebody said that I pander to Wizards of the Coast and shill for Critical Role. And all my Critical Role videos get the most negative thumbs down. So do I shill for Critical Role and Wizards of the Coast? Because apparently I do. Anyways, it is Friday. It is 10 o'clock. It is the 5th day of November. Remember the 5th of November. Or is it the 15th? No, it's the 5th, right? Whatever. There was a massive amount of more firings from WWE last night. So, remember the 5th of November. It is a sunny, bright Friday morning here in Ventura County, and I am your guide to all the tabletop role-playing game news, weather, sports, controversy, speculations, and general non-stop internet rumors. The last video I did about this merry band of misfits got me a lot of thumbs down, so I had to rethink a lot of things. So I thought I'd address it again and hopefully do a better job, because I feel I owe you an apology, and I owe to do a better job. All right, so a new thing for Critical Role started. Can't call it a season. Can't call it a campaign. Can't call it a show. I don't know if there's a right name for what it is anymore, so we'll just say production. A new production of Critical Role had begun, featuring a whole new cast of characters set in the world of Mr. Mercer's amazing imagination. This current production takes place sometime after the miniseries that they did over the summer, Xandria Unlimited. We have recurring characters from both Xandria Unlimited and brand new characters. And there's a lot of mysteries, of course, because there's a huge variance in levels. There's a lot of new weird things introduced. They're in a new place in the world of Mercer that we've only seen briefly before. Now, mind you, I'm only reading what other people have written about it. I don't really know a lot. Maybe I should. So I think we're in the third episode game. We've got a whole bunch of new characters. We've got a new setting. We've got a new stage. So when I first saw the stage, I said it looked like a boat. And then I saw the pictures of it again, and then they're sitting around the table, and I'm like, whoa, this looks like a boat. And people are like, no, it's something called the Tavern of Tales or something like that. And so I guess it's a bar or that's somewhere. It's supposed to be a bar that's somewhere in the world, maybe from the first campaign. Anyways, I guess it's supposed to be a tavern. I suppose interpretation is 9/10 of reviews. It looks like a boat, but maybe it's a tavern that was meant to look like a boat because you're sailing on the seas of tales and imagination. Or, I don't know, I suppose art looks like whatever you think it looks like. Maybe there's somebody out there who thinks it looks like a birdhouse. They're like, no, you're both wrong. It's not a tavern, it's not a boat, it's a birdhouse. Anyway, so we have some new characters. Now, if we know anything about the mysteries of Mercer's brain, none of this could be correct, because there are probably plenty of mysteries around all these individuals that will be played out over however long the length of this current one is. We know they're taking breaks every third Thursday of the month, and that we're going to have changing characters. There's faces on the crowd now that we might not see in the future. There's faces from the past who might vanish. Characters might change. Apparently Travis is running a 5th level character, and that could be his permanent character, or that could be a temporary character that changes. So from the speculations that we've got from Mr. Mercer, this one, and, take anything that they say about the characters with a grain of salt, because if we know anything for the previous 2 campaigns, people have mysteries, people change. The characters that we see now may not be who they are once they're fully fleshed out. They all have secrets. They all have mysteries. They all are perceived to be one thing, but they could be something else. Everybody's like guessing, oh, that thing's a thing. And but be like, no, actually 15 episodes down, we're like, oh, it turns out it wasn't what we thought it was. Mind blown. We all know the standout character from Mighty Nine pretty much was Laura Bailey's Jester. Looks like the standout so far is Sam's fresh cut grass. Apparently we missed a running joke that finally got caught up in this one. If you know that in the first one, Sam had an oversized drinking tankard. In the second one, Sam had an oversized drinking tankard. And now for this one, he has an oversized drinking tankard that says gas on it. So apparently it has been a running joke that Sam has been doing that the size of the drinking tankard is based upon the size of his characters. And they were all themed to his characters that he was playing, which only, I guess, some people got now because of the gas one. And other people were like, oh, yeah, I got that. So I didn't get it until this one. Of course, I don't watch the show as much as others. But yeah, it does appear that Sam's metronome, warforged, robot, fresh cut grass, we don't know yet. I have a feeling there's a lot of house-ruled nonsense in this one because there's a lot of characters doing things you would not normally see in the thing. Like he's playing a robot, and the robot can do things that don't fit what either the metronome or a robot or a warforged can do. Anyways, Ashley Johnson is returning to play the character she played during the miniseries over the summer, Exandria Unlimited. She is Fern Calloway, Fearnecalloway, a satyr. That's one of those words where like probably nobody's pronouncing it right because it dates back to ancient Greece. So satyr is one way you pronounce it. Sitar is another way you pronounce it. Satyr, maybe it's satire. Maybe we've been saying it long this whole time. She is playing a druid. She is a wildfire druid, which is a new circle that was presented probably in Tasha. She is very chaotic. She has a pet little fire thing that follows her around that appears like a monkey. I don't know a lot about the Circle of Wildfire for druids. It's definitely different since most druids tend to go, bear tank. So it's interesting to see how that will be played. We have Liam O'Brien playing Orem, who is a halfling fighter. He is a Air Asante, and he's a battle master. So Air Asante are individuals, I guess, specific to the world of Exandria. They're sort of got some connection to the elemental plane of air, or the elemental planes, but he is a halfling and he is a battle master. Battle masters appear in the basic book, so that's interesting to see that somebody went totally basic. Battle masters have the ability to do special moves. They have something called a battle dice or a mastery dice, and when they do their special moves, they can add this dice, and if the number is successful, they can do things like grapple, rearrange the battlefield, stuff like that. We have Robbie Damond. He is new. He was played about in the Xandria Unlimited thingy. Now he's playing a bard called Dorian Storm. And he's been introduced early, but we don't know whether he's going to be a full-time member or not. He's from the College of Blades, I believe. But let's double check that. Bard level 3. No, he's an air genasi. He has something called Mingle with the Wind, Unending Breath, and Song of Rest. So it doesn't look like he's chosen his specialty yet. I had heard that he was a College of the Blades, but it doesn't say so. Somebody has went and posted character sheets up, but these look like more like speculation character sheets than the actual character sheets that they're using, so I cannot say with any certainty whether this is actual to what they made or not. So this is what people have, I guess, speculated at. This is on Bell of Lost Souls, so take that with a grain of salt. We have Laura Bailey playing Imogene Tamula. This is the one that seems to have a lot of the mystery around her. A lot of people assume she is playing a sorcerer with the aberrant mind origin, and that she took the variant human because she started with a feat. The feat being apparently telepathy, and that she has psionic spells instead of normal sorcerer spells. But that could be completely incorrect. All we know is she's done some Jane Grey shit so far since we've seen her appear. She's been able to do telepathy. She's been able to do something that appeared to be telekinesis, but it could have been Mage Hand. People think she's the Aberrant Mind Sorcerer build, which is from Tasha's again. And she at least has demonstrated the ability to use the twin spell, Meta Magic, from Sorcerer. She is also apparently 3rd level. So I guess they started at higher levels in this one. It says here she has psionic spells. That's the first time I've ever heard that reference. It could be something from Tasha's, or it could be something that Mercer made up. Again, this is speculation. So that'll be interesting to see how correct people are. We have Marissa playing Ludana, Laudana, who is apparently a sorcerer or a warlock. Apparently now they're not sure, but she's 3rd level. She appears to be an undead warlock, which is a rebuild of a previous build. That this is now the Tasha's version of undead warlock. Now we don't know if she's undead and a warlock, or if she's normal human who has taken the undead warlock build, or if she's normal human sorcerer who just is messing around with necromancy. We know that she has demonstrated some undead abilities, but other than that, she seems to be undead adjacent type of thing. We have Ashton, who is an Earth Genasi barbarian following the path of fundamental chaos, a homebrewed subclass that Matt Mercer and Jeffy cooked up together. So this is a modification, I guess, of the Wild Surge barbarian, because I have been told that there actually is a Wild Surge barbarian class. The Wild Surge barbarian build, when it rages, it can take the chaotic energy and distribute it in things like blasts. So think video games where, the barbarian slams his hammer down the ground and there's that big blast of energy from it, which normally a barbarian couldn't do. So, but it looks like they have taken the pre-existing build and made a whole new thing. So again, anything we know about this character could be completely wrong. That we are assuming that is what he is, but who knows? He is an Earth Genasi. So Earth Genasis are like half elves. You're half human, half elemental. In this case, Earth. He has a big old glass hammer. I've been told it's a magic item because otherwise a glass hammer would break every time he swung it. Unless, of course, one of the abilities, because he's an Earth Genasi, is he could recreate the glass. So he swings the hammer, shatters it, there's a burst of energy, and then as a free action, he can use his Earth Genasi ability to remake the glass and use it again. Because I don't know if that's actually how he can do it, but if he could, that would be sort of cool cinematically. It would look great in an anime. And he's a barbarian. Then we have a lot of mysteries. Fresh Cut Grass, who is a cleric. He is he's either an autognome or some type of warforged or something brand new that Mercer has made. We've seen him shoot bolts out of his body. We've seen him turn a hand into a saw blade, a la Inspector Gadget. both are things normally not associated with Warforged. We don't know enough about the Autognome to know whether that's something an Autognome can do or not. Of course, turning his hand into a saw blade and shooting out bolts could just have been manifestations of his clerical spells, He's 3rd level at least. The shooting out bolts could just be, Sacred Flame or Guiding Bolt, and he has just restructured it to look like an actual nail coming out of his body. And the saw blade could just be magic weapon or faith weapon or another spell that he has just repurposed to look like a saw blade to fit the theme. So when you're dealing with a spellcaster who is very theme-centric, big mystery. Are these all just how he interprets how the spell looks? Because I remember when I played a cleric of Gon the Wonderbringer, his healing spells was a staple gun, because he was, a techno priest, and his bless spell was taking a wrench taking a wrench to the back of people and wrenching them up. So it could be doing something like that. Anything we know about him. And we've seen him use something called sympathetic binding, where he was able to transfer the damage somebody else took to himself. And then we have Travis's. Sir Burton Bell, who was a human fighter who first appeared in the one-shot The Search of Grog, and he is apparently 5th level. Other than that, we don't know anything about him. And other than, according to Mercer, Travis is a troll. So who knows how long Sir Bell will be around. That's everything we know about the people in the game currently. But it sounds like who's ever now doing the reviews and the write-ups of the sessions are as, more like on the same line I am, is like, well, based upon the previous 2 campaigns, nothing we see could be actually true. So we really don't know who any of these people are. We don't know what Sam is. We're assuming he's some kind of robot. We don't know what Marissa is. She's got spooky powers and she looks spooky, but what is she? Is she undead? Is she a necromancer? Is she a warlock? Is she a sorcerer? Is she something brand new? Is Travis going to be playing the same character throughout the campaign, or is he going to be switching out because he's 2 levels higher than everybody else? Some of the people seem to have magic items, like the hammer. Others don't seem to have magic items, or at least are keeping them secrets. What is Laura Bailey's character? Is she an aberrant mind sorcerer? Did she take the telepathy feat at 1st level? Or is she something else? The initial appearance of any of these, I think, are just sort of like, I don't know. We'll see as things play out. 15 sessions from now, we could be going, like I said, oh, wow, you mean he was really a blank all along? I never saw it coming. Or, oh, wow, yeah, now that I think about it, that totally makes sense. She really was a blank. We saw the hints in game number 4. We just sort of been ignoring it, but now it's like, slap. Oh, how did I not see that coming? So, yeah, there we go. There's a rundown for all the characters. If you're interested in this, you can see Critical Role on Twitter, Twitch, and then they repeat it the next day on YouTube. Apparently, they also have a podcast where they repeat it verbally, and then there's tons of people who cut and paste scenes and put them up. A lot of fan sites do that. I don't know, not sure what the legality is of that, but I guess if it's under a certain amount of time, it's okay to show cut scenes from the episodes. Yeah, and of course we have one guy who's new. Is he going to be sticking around, or is he a guest starter? And they did say at the very beginning, all this could change. So, don't get too attached to certain players being there, certain characters being there, because it is all a mystery this time around. So anybody who has expectations based upon the previous 2 probably should take those and put them away for a while until we see how things play out. And that's as much as we know. If you appreciate this content, let me know. If you don't appreciate this content, let me know. If you have any guesses about any of this, write them down, and we'll see how correct we are. I'm guessing everything we think about Laura's character, Marisha's character, Sam's character is, and maybe Liam's character is probably not correct. There are probably more to those two than we think. The others, the halfling's probably what he is. The bard probably is what he is. I don't really see a lot of mysteries around the druid, but again, I could be wrong. But definitely, Travis playing a 5th level, that'll probably change. There's probably way more about the robot than we think there is. There seems to be a lot of mysteries about the psionicist and the undead one. And there's just something about the way the Earth Genasi barbarian is playing out that makes me think, yeah, you homebrewed this, so there's probably more to this than we think we're seeing. Anyways, talk to you later. Have a great weekend. Stay off my land. I am the OG GM. Support me.